Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you are. I'm so happy to be here with another session with Microsoft Zero to Hero. Let me share some information before we kick off the main session. Today we have a Chris. Chris wants to talk about Microsoft Copilot for security. As you know, Copilot for security or AI in the Microsoft solution is a very new solution, and Microsoft Copilot is engaged with a lot of systems like Microsoft Defender, Microsoft Sentinel, or other Microsoft security products. And its topic very interesting. As you know, Microsoft Zero to Hero is part of Microsoft Learn community, and the Microsoft Zero to Hero has more than 7,000 members. And thank God you selected our community. And actually, in the Microsoft Learn community, you can select your learning path based off your role, based off the certificate. You can ask your question from a lot of Learn experts, and also you can join aka.ms Microsoft Learn community. This is a Microsoft Zero to Hero February calendar. We have some session. You can reserve your session. All previous session uploaded our YouTube channel. You can watch it. And the last slide is our code of conduct. Be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all question and viewpoint, be understanding of difference, and be kind and considerate to other in the question. Thank you again. At the time is to add Chris on the stage. Hello, Chris.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for accepting me to present this session today. So I think it's time to start the show, right?
Yeah, right. You can start your presentation.
Okay, I'm going to present my entire screen because I do not have anything to hide from you guys. So here we are. Okay, just a moment. I will have my PowerPoint slides here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay, so tonight we will talk about Microsoft Copilot for security, how we can use artificial intelligence, actually Microsoft's artificial intelligence, to defend. So what we're going to see tonight, we're going to describe what is actually Microsoft Copilot for security. We were going to see some use cases, so what this new version of Microsoft Copilot can do for you. We will talk about the standalone experience, and we'll also talk about the embedded experience. I will show you examples about these different experiences and how they work. As you know, when we talk about Copilot, we should talk about the prompts. What is a prompt? What we actually ask Copilot to do. So we're going to discuss about the elements of an effective prompt. And then we're going to see how Microsoft Copilot works in Microsoft Defender XDR. And one more thing that we're going to talk about is how you can summarize the different incidents that you see in the Microsoft Defender platform. And I have a demo for you guys, and we'll talk about this later. So I'm a Microsoft certified trainer since 1998. And if we have some old people here like me, I started my career teaching Windows NT Server 4, if I remember correctly. I've also been a Microsoft MVP for 10 years, from 2008 to 2018. And I'm located in Greece, actually northern Greece. And let's go on and describe about this Microsoft Copilot for security thing we have to talk about. So I want to tell you about an interesting story. When I first heard that Microsoft is going to invest in artificial intelligence, I was very excited, of course, like all of us. And well, I've started using Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then I discovered that there is another possibility, Microsoft Copilot for security. So how to invest and how to use artificial intelligence to respond to threats and actually use all these new Copilot for Security product in the Microsoft Defender platform, in Microsoft 365. Another thing that I want to talk to you is, since I teach the course MS 102, the Microsoft 365 Administrator course, what I hear from the students and customers is this. When we start teaching about and describing Microsoft Defender and Microsoft Purview, do you know what the students tell me? The students tell me that, we couldn't think about security in Microsoft 365. We didn't know that Microsoft 365 has all these security features, amazing security features built in. So, since I discovered Microsoft Copilot, I started doing some, tests with Microsoft Copilot for security, and this is how actually we got into that idea of this presentation. So, what is actually Microsoft Copilot for security? A cloud-based security analysis tool built into different Microsoft products, just like Microsoft Defender XDR, combines the power of large language models to give you answers related to security threats that you might see, incidents, alerts that you might see in the Microsoft Defender platform, and actually learns, because we know that artificial intelligence always learns from the different data that they get injected into that. So, some use cases: incident summarization. If you have ever used Microsoft Defender, you know that very often you get a long list of security alerts, incidents, alerts, and it's really difficult, unless you are a very experienced cybersecurity person, to translate all these incidents into real information that you can use. Impact analysis also. This is another thing that you can do with Microsoft Copilot for security. Assess the potential impact of security incidents. So, what is this incident, what it's all about, and how we can respond to that. Reverse engineering of scripts. In many cases, and you will see also in the demo, we can see that in different incidents, security incidents, we have scripts, and it's very difficult actually to analyze the content of the script. How can you tell what this script actually does? Microsoft Copilot for Security lets you translate the whole script and give you the actual, let's say, impact and the content of the script. And of course, it can give you guided responses, step-by-step guidance. Excuse me, just some water. Okay. So, excuse me. So this is the standalone experience. What do you get with Microsoft Copilot for Security? You get a dedicated portal that actually has all the information that you need. As you can see in this screenshot, there is a section here that says that the following script was detected. Something malicious happened in this company. So you can analyze the script. You can get responses from Copilot, provide a brief summary of the most recent attacks that happened to this specific company, to this Microsoft 365 tenant and also Azure tenant. So information about the last login from a specific device or from a specific user. As you can see, all this information is categorized here, and simply by clicking the different areas here, you can get all the information that you need. And another thing that you can do with a standalone experience, and we will also see that through the demo, is the different prompt books that are available. If you want to see some examples of prompt books here, you can see that we have the suspicious script analysis here. So you can actually use the prompts. What are really the prompt books? A set of ready-made prompts that you can use to analyze the situation. Microsoft 365 Defender incident investigation and response. So if you want to actually create reports and present these reports to the upper management of your company. And also vulnerability impact assessment. And not only this, you can actually write down here your, oops, sorry. I've stopped the presentation. Just a moment, I will do it again. So it's the first time I use StreamYard, so this is why I have this small problems. Okay, different prompts that you can use in order to analyze better the situation. Uh, what you can do, you can use natural language to type, to use the prompts. And the responses that you get are also in natural language. This is the embedded experience. This is how Microsoft Copilot for Security is integrated in Microsoft Defender. As you can see from that screenshot, I'm in the Microsoft 365 Defender portal, and I would like to use the advanced handling feature of Defender. Without Copilot, you have to create your own scripts, your own queries here, write them now, type them in order to get the answer from the advanced handling here. But what if you cannot write a script? What if you want to write a script, give a request to a security copilot with natural language, and Copilot can actually write the script for you? As in this example, take a look at this. I would like to get logon attempts by domain accounts targeted by credential theft. And what Security Copilot will do will actually create the script for you. You can add it and run it and get the response. And as always, like in every version of Copilot, you can ask questions because you have the option to write the prompts here. Ask a question to generate a query, whatever you like, related to all the security incidents and alerts you may get. This is the embedded experience, and they call it embedded experience because, as you can see, it's embedded in the Microsoft 365 Defender console here. So what about the prompts? And this is something important because when you use copilots, you get the content that you get, the response that you get is as good as your prompt is. So we have to think like this. First, describe the goal, what we want to achieve. For example, what is the specific security related information you need? And the prompt, actually the start of the prompt could be, give me information about incident, and you type the incident number here. Where do you get the incident number? From Microsoft Defender. Then it's the context. Why do you need it, and how will you use the information? So give me information about this specific incident for a report that I can submit to my manager. And what are your expectations? What is the format or the audience that you want to give that response? Compile the information in a list with a short summary, because probably you want to give this report to your manager, and your manager is not so technical person. So you want to compile it in a list with a short summary so that person can actually understand what's going on. And what is the source? Where do you want Copilot to go and get the data? Is there a plugin, known info, or data source Security Copilot I should use? Just go and look in Defender incidents. And this is how you create an effective prompt and combine all that information in order to get a better result. Let's take a look at how it works in Microsoft Defender XDR. And this is something similar with the demo that I'm going to show you. We have a multi-stage incident here, as you can see, with 35 alerts. And as you can see, it's really very, very difficult to go to all these alerts, get the information, and actually translate information and understand what it's all about. Okay, first, if you see the first one, TY map URL entity to security alert data. What is this? I want to have, let's say, a simplified information in order to better understand what this incident is all about. So what Microsoft Copilot for Security can do, it can summarize the incident. This is something very, very good, because as you can see here, if you click that button, it will give you immediately the incident summary with the date and the time, and you have a summary of what actually happened. And if you can read it, you can understand what's the situation here. You can get guided responses. As you can see down here, it can give you some recommendations also. It can analyze the scripts that you may find in all these different incidents and alerts here. You can use natural language to translate everything to custom query languages and queries. Okay, maybe I want to write the query, but I'm not really very familiar with this custom query language. What can I do? Just ask Copilot to do it for you. Create an incident report and print it and give it to your manager. Analyze files that you may find in this incidents and alerts. And also ask for specific devices. All this information, as you can see, is up here. Similar incidents, summary, evidence and response, investigation, but everything can be summarized and translated to something very natural that we can really understand with Copilot for security. And this is actually what I was talking about, the summarized incidents. So Copilot will automatically create a summary when you navigate to an incidents page. And let's take a look at this. We've got all the information about the different incident alerts, but it's really complicated to explain everything and to understand what's going on here. Just go and use the incident summary. And as you can see here, what Copilot says is that the high severity incident titled multiple failed user logon attempts to a service involving one user occurred at that specific date and time, and this is all the story about what really happened. At this specific date and time, the user, base 33, triggered the activity policy, this one, and this was related to this specific IP address and impacted the Microsoft 365 cloud application. And it goes on like this. It's really very easy to understand. The time and the date when the attack started, the entity or all the assets, devices, users that are related to this attack, a summary of the timelines of how the attack actually happened, assets involved, users, devices, and if we have some specific indicators of compromises and the number of threat actors. We are going to see all these different things through the demo, which will start now. And before starting the demo, I would like to tell you that it's very difficult to get a trial. Actually, I don't know if it actually exists a trial of Microsoft Copilot for security. So if you want to try it for yourself, you have to pay for that. And after the demo, I'm going to show you how much does it cost, what's the price of Copilot for security. So in order to do a demo like this, the only possible solution was to find something created by Microsoft. And I found, let's say, a guided demo, but since I couldn't know for how much time this demo is going to be available, I've recorded the whole thing. I went through the demo and I recorded it. And I want to show you that recording, explain you, of course, all the steps that I did through the demo. So this is a video file that I have to show you. And that's it, actually. As you can see, I'm logged on into the Microsoft Defender portal. Okay. And let's start it. The first thing I'm going to do is going to go to incident alerts and check the incidents. And as you can see, I have a long list of incidents. And let's talk about the first one. Human-operated ransomware attack was launched from a compromised asset. You can see that I have a long list of alerts, 72 actually. It's quite a lot, and it's very difficult to go to each one of them and try to find out what happened. But take a look at this. Incident summary. You have a very clear idea, if you go through the summary, about what really happened in this specific incident. And then you have the guided response. A good idea is to always classify this incident as like let's say malware or unwanted software or phishing or whatever. And the next thing is the guides that Copilot gives you. Probably you want to isolate some devices, all the devices that participated in that specific incident. And just by clicking a button, you actually isolate the device. And some other things that Copilot did automatically, like disabling the user accounts that are involved in that specific incident. Okay, just easy as this. Let's go into that first alert that we've got. And again, we have the alert summary. Again, you can see that it's very easy to go through and read the text and understand what's going on in that specific alert. Suspicious URL clicked in that specific alert. So you read all the information. It can actually give you information about possible files that the user clicked. And the next good thing is to go to that part here. You can see some in the suspicious URL clicked incident, you can see that there are some user actions. And if you open the alert page, you can get more information about this specific incident and alert. And let's take a look at this. If you go down in this process tree, you can see that OneDrive was involved, Outlook was involved. But another thing that you can do is if you click down there, up there, you can summarize again the situation of the devices that are involved in that specific incident. So this device name owned by this specific user is a virtual machine with a medium exposure level and all this information. You get information for that specific user that was using that device, because maybe we talk about a risky user. If you have ever used Microsoft Defender, you know that we can check inside the risk management and risky users in our company. And if you go into these specific processes that happened during the incident, you can see that we can see that PowerShell actually was used to execute a script. You get again all this information here about that specific action. Okay, so actually PowerShell created several processes and performed permissions groups and things like that. And there is actually a script here. Can you get the idea of what this script does? Not really. We can get a URL, but it's not possible to actually realize what it's all about. So if you click the Analyze script, Copilot for Security will give you the actual code of that specific script. So it's better for us to understand what happened. If you go a little bit down here, you can see that PowerShell command used a path, and you have again all this information related to that path. I'm going to stop the video for a while to show you that now here we get information that PowerShell executed Rubeus related to Kerber roasting technique and created this process. I don't know if any one of you have ever heard about Rubeus, but it's some kind of a malware anyway, with specific command line and more information about this here. And then let's see what's the next step here. You can see that the exact PowerShell command that was used is this one, token elevation. Okay. And then we can analyze again that specific script by clicking the button Analyze. So if you take a look at this information here, it says that the script appears malformed or incomplete. Okay, the provided command starts a new PowerShell session and changes the current directory to this one. And if you want to see the exact code for that specific script, you can click the Show Code option here. So it's PowerShell, and this is the exact command that actually happened in that specific incident. Another PowerShell script here, another script, you can analyze it again, and Copilot will give you all the information. Take a look at the highlighted sections here. And if you click Analyze, it will give you, again, I'm going to stop the video, it will give you a complete analysis of what happened with this PowerShell command in the actual script. And as you can see, it's in, as we say, in natural language. It's very easy for a person, even if you're not a cybersecurity person, to go through that text, through that response, and understand what really happened in that specific, let's say, PowerShell script. take a look at this. The script defines a function, that specific function that attempts to find and execute a file named browsercore.exe located either here or here, and you get all this information. Okay. And for every single step of the script, it can show you the code, the actual code that was used. Okay. So let's go to the standalone experience. You can actually open the Copilot for Security portal to better analyze and get information about this specific command. Sometimes this demo breaks, so I had to refresh the page and start it again. Now it's going to work. And this is the embedded experience. So what you can actually see here is related to that specific incident with a specific incident number. So you get the general idea of all the different steps that happen through the incident. And probably the next thing you want to do is to use a prompt book. You can check to see all the prompt books. And as you can see, let me go a little bit back because this is important, just to take a look about, see the different prompt books. So see all prompt books. Let's see. As you can see, we're going to use now in this situation the Microsoft 365 Defender Incident Investigation. There is another prompt book called Microsoft Sentinel Incident Investigation. There is another prompt book, Suspicious Script Analysis, and all these prompt books are actually set of ready-made prompts that you can use in order to get information that you need. Let's click on the 365 Defender Incident Investigation, and here you have to type the incident ID number. So you get this from Defender, from Microsoft Defender. You run it, you run the prompt book, and you get all this different information. Summarize the incident. Information similar to what we've already seen in the Microsoft Defender console here. Okay, if you scroll a little bit down, you can see IP addresses, machines, computers, users, everything that was related to that incident. So the authentication methods set up used for that specific incident, devices, Intune device ID, initial access, lateral movement, collection of data, credential access, everything that happened, and how this is related to specific users. And as you can see, prompt books give you specific steps that you can actually use and get information that you need. And the last thing we may want to do is to write an executive report to present this to our manager. This is the report that we can use. Classification of the incident and all the details that we may use here. And let's see, the next step, it's going to be to pin this incident report to the pin board of the standalone experience portal, and then we can actually share all this information and create a document that we can give it to our manager. Okay, as you can see, incident summary, everything related and all the details to that specific incident that happened. So this is the general idea of Copilot for security, but now let's see how you can get it. Okay, sorry, this is the actual demo. So you should use Azure portal to get Microsoft Copilot for security. If you can search in the Microsoft Azure portal, you can see that the product is called Microsoft Security Copilot Compute Capacities. And the story is this. In order to enable it, you need to have a subscription and create a resource group, as always, specify the name of the capacity because you are going to use compute resources in the Microsoft data centers. So you give a capacity name, the location, of course, that the prompt evaluations are going to happen, and the most important thing here is that you need to specify how many secure computer units you need per hour. The information that is located down here. Microsoft recommends to start with at least 2 secure compute units. Okay, you may need more. If you use Microsoft Copilot for security extensively, you may need more than this. Unfortunately, there is no way for now to calculate how many secure compute units you're going to need. Okay, so that's why we say start with at least 2. Of course, you can start with 1, but in some cases, if you use Copilot for security extensively, 1 secure compute unit, it's not going to be enough. And of course, the evaluation of all this information in different incidents is going to stop because you don't have the computing capacity to go on. What about the price? And this is, for some of you, the most important information. Of course, all these technical things are good, but let's see how much it's going to cost. You can find it in Azure pricing calculator. I did the exercise, and for 2 secure compute units per hour, the cost is 3.84 euros. If you leave it running all the time, you're going to need something like, as you can see, more than $5,000 for 2 security compute units. It's not cheap, but of course we all understand that this is a product that is going to be needed by big companies and not probably for small companies. Okay, this is the cost for the actual computing capacity that you use on Microsoft Azure to ingest and use all that information and give you all the analysis that we've seen in the demo. Okay, so that's it for my side. Well, I can see your questions now. Okay. Green, sir, yes.
Thank you. Thank you again. I will share some question on the screen. You can check the first question.
Okay, if the user is non-technical and doesn't understand the script language, how will they know that the script Copilot gave is correct without reviewing? Okay, of course, you need some kind of technical background. It's not an end user tool. The good thing about Microsoft Copilot for security is that you get script analysis, you get responses in natural language. So it's going to be much better than trying to analyze the code of the script anyway. Yeah. Can Microsoft Copilot for security investigate suspicious activities at the virtual machine level? For example, what happens if an SSH private key is compromised? Well, okay, I cannot answer you for that specific case about the SSH private key, but of course, since it's something that works on Microsoft Azure, it can be used even on virtual machines. Of course, it can be used. Is Security Copilot applicable for multi-cloud and hybrid environments powered by Azure Arc? Yes, of course. Yes, because it can be used with Microsoft Sentinel also. For example, if there is a remote on-premises server and a virtual machine from another cloud onboarded using Arc, can it check their security? Yes, of course, because Azure can do it. If Azure can do it by using monitoring tools and security tools like Sentinel, Copilot for security can get all that information and give you back the results in natural language.
Yeah, this is our last question.
Security Copilot should be able to analyze data from practically any environment as long as it has access to endpoint logs. Okay, this does not look like an answer. It looks like, let's say, a statement, but I've seen that Microsoft says that you can use other sources and inject that information in Microsoft Copilot for security. I haven't tested myself, but okay, I think it can do it.
Yeah, great. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chris, again for this session. It seems that there is no more question in the chat. We can close this session. Thank you, guys, again. Have a good day. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Bye bye.